So your soulmate is supposed to praise and applaud you for being yourself, and to give you a space for making, for being yourself and being who you are, and love you despite all your flaws, and to support you in all your endeavors, right? Well, what if the version of you that they know is dysfunction, and that's it? See what I'm getting at? I saw a clip on social media, and it was from the show called You, and this character said, they made me not feel good just about being me. They made me feel bad about being me. Your soulmate is not supposed to do that. And I was like, yeah, that's true. They're supposed to, accept you for who you are. But that same character was delusional, had most of the show mentally, emotionally unstable, and hurt a lot of people, committed a lot of crimes. So there's always two parts to the story. It's like, there's a sense of like, yeah, that other person, they have to give space and take care of their responsibilities to how they respond and initiate things with us. But then on the other hand, we got to check ourselves. Like I said in my last video, and sometimes we just got to handle our own dysfunction and insecurities. And it reminded me of our modern dating philosophy and culture, because you hear a lot of times, oh, just take me as I am. This is how I am. This is how my mama was. This is how my daddy was. This is how I was taught. Like, you just gonna have to deal with it. I'm sure when I said that, some of y'all had some flashbacks to some things, whether you said it or someone else said it. So that's dysfunctional. Yes, we all have flaws and dysfunction, and we don't do the right things at right times, even on a consistent basis. But if you're doing it all the time and you're just comfortable with the idea of doing wrong, despite how the other person feels or what's appropriate in that situation, you wrong, you tripping. So if a person walks out because of that, they ain't wrong. They just saw you for who you are, and they don't have to deal with that. Especially outside of marriage. They don't have to deal with that. So it's not about them accepting you and them making them feel like being you is a bad thing. No, it's like you were tripping. So I'm sick of that narrative. I'm sick of that culture where we blame everybody else for some things that we are in control of. We can control whether we cuss out people. We can control whether we ignore people. We can control whether we block a person or go to that person's house when they don't want us there. We can control cheating. We can control crying and yelling when we don't get our way. We can control all of that. We can control being calm. Yeah, we could do all that. We have so much power. So if the other person sees that we have all these ways about you, and you can't grow, you can't get better, it's fine by them to leave. This is a soulmate who's supposed to love you, or a partner, whatever you want to call it. That person, if they love you and really care about you and want you to be, just your best and healthiest as they should be, they're going to point those things out and be like, hey, you do this when you don't get your way, or like, hey, you act like this in this situation. That should make you want to grow, to not only be better for yourself, but to be better for them. But if you don't want that, I don't think you need to be around anybody, because you're only going to hurt them and yourself in the end. So it's not just about pointing the finger at them. They can leave, but what was your portion and your role in pushing them away? And sometimes that's self-sabotage. And sometimes the big problem with that too, guys, is they don't even know you in the first place. They just know your dysfunction. They just know your guard's up. All they know is your defense, because you don't want people to know the real you. You're scared of it. A lot of people are scared. That's why we buy so much makeup, so much designer clothes, shoes, teeth, hair, cars, I already said clothes, money in general, body count, subscribers. That's why we invest in so much shallow stuff and we make it our identity, because we're afraid of getting rejected by people that can be really close to us and possibly really good for us. So we don't even let them see the real us, but we let them see all this dysfunctional stuff and all this, you know, skin deep stuff. So until you can take that all down and be comfortable within yourself, that's how you know that person's there. And then you can ask, hey, how do I know that I'm showing the real me? You know what's the real you? How you can tell? When you have no outside obligations, when you feel safe and nothing is pushing you. When, you know, usually when it's by yourself or you're in a comfortable spot, what you think, feel, and look like in that moment, that's the real you. It's not what's all done up and posted. That's the real you. When you're not faking, when you're authentic and you're comfortable, that's the real you. Everything else is probably dysfunction in that mask, and you're faking to everybody and yourself. So stop hiding behind the dysfunction. Take off the mask. Find out who you are, and that right person is gonna find you. And you won't push them away this time.